Hello, everybody. My name is Lorraine. I'm from Canada. In this Verbling class, which is at a beginner level, we're going to look at vocabulary for talking about jobs and routines. We'll review the present simple in the affirmative and the negative for discussing and talking about what your daily routine is. If you're interested, please join me. If you are new to Verbling, this is a great class to start with. I'll keep the pace very slow, and you'll be able to speak English and feel confident about it. We're just waiting for people to join us here in the classroom, and we can get started with the material. Again, I'll say this class called Jobs and Routines is a beginner class, very beginner. If you are new to English and you want to practice, this is a great class for you because the pace will be very slow and the material is basic. We're going to look at the present simple, using it for discussing routines. So I'm just waiting for people to join me here in the classroom and we can get started. Okay, so nobody's with me yet. I'll just have to talk to myself for a little while and hopefully people will join me shortly when they're finished with the classes they're in right now. This class is a basic class. We're going to look at the present simple. We're going to use it to discuss routines, the things you do every day. What time do you get up? What time do you leave for work? When do you come home? These are the kinds of topics that we'll discuss in this class. I'm just waiting for people to join me here in the classroom and we can get started with the material. I have a worksheet to share on the screen share. I've also posted the worksheet in both of the chats. So if you download the worksheet, you can follow along, whether you can join the class or if you are just watching the class, you can see what we're doing in this class. So I'll repeat one more time. I'm Lorraine, I'm from Canada, and today's Verbling class is at a beginner level. I'll keep the pace very slow. We're going to look at vocabulary for kinds of jobs, and we'll look at the present simple used to discuss routines. So I'm by myself here in the classroom, and maybe you are viewing this, so you wonder when things will get started. It would be great if we could get some people to join me here in the classroom. There we go, very good. Jesus, hi, how are you?
Fine, thank you, teacher.
Good. Did you have trouble getting into the class?
What?
Was there a difficulty in
Mm,
joining the class?
no.
No? Okay. So for some reason, not very many people have taken the class. Again. Okay, so I'm going to start right away, Jesus. If you want to, did you get the worksheet? I will also share it on the screen. The first thing we'll do is talk about jobs. I want you to tell me what you think this man's job is.
A doctor.
Okay, so I want you to use he
Okay.
is. Okay.
He is a doctor.
Okay, he is a doctor. Very good. And what about this lady?
She, he's a police woman.
Okay. Now, to be politically correct, we say a police officer.
Okay.
Policewoman is correct too, but here in Canada, we don't want to say whether it is a man or a woman. So, police officer.
Okay. Uh,
So, the next picture, this man is
he is a waiter.
good. Excellent. And what about this lady?
Uh, she is a mm, acid. No, I don't know.
Okay. There are different things that you could call her. In Canada, we would say for general sales, she is a sales clerk. But if you were in England, you might say she is a shop assistant. And if you wanted to be specific, what does she sell? What do you think she is selling?
Shoes.
Yeah, so you could say she is a shoe salesperson.
Okay.
Okay. All right. And what is this lady?
She is a teacher.
Yeah. And what about this gentleman?
Uh, she he is a actor.
Okay, now we can't say a
An
actor.
actor. Okay.
An actor. Very good. He is an actor. And what about this girl?
She is a director.
Mm, she is doing the same job that this man is. He is an
Okay,
actor.
okay,
She
okay.
is.
Okay. Uh, actress.
Okay, yes. That is what we have traditionally called a woman who is acting. But again, to make it politically correct, we now call women actors. She is an actor as well.
Okay.
Okay. It's not wrong if you use actress, but in the United States and Canada, they're trying to get away from letting people know whether it's a man or a woman. Okay, and this gentleman, he is?
He is office.
Okay, he's typing on a typewriter. I don't know if anybody has a typewriter anymore. But he works, say, for a newspaper. What do you call him when he writes things for a newspaper?
Journalist.
Yeah, journalist. Or we could say he is just a writer as well. He's a journalist. Okay. Now, this picture, what do you think is happening in this picture? What is this lady?
Uh, Waiter.
Yeah, that's what it looks like, but oops, we have some people who have joined us.
Oh, very people.
All of a sudden.
Oh,
Okay, so I'm going to greet them first, and then we'll go on with the lesson. Excuse me, Jesus. German, hello. German?
Hi, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
yes,
you,
I can hear you.
Hi.
but you need
But you
to
need to
use
use
headphones.
headphones.
Sorry, I don't have one.
Okay, so make sure when you're in the class to keep your microphone muted, okay, until I ask you a question, and then you can answer, okay?
Okay.
Okay, it's okay for me.
Okay, thank you. And we have Devrim, hello.
Hello,
Where are you from, Devrim?
I'm from Turkey.
Oh, very good. Welcome to the class.
Thanks.
Okay, and we have Aka Ken. How are you doing today?
Yes, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, very good. This is a very basic class and everyone is welcome. We're just looking at jobs at the moment. So, Aka Ken, in picture number 9, there's a lady who is working in an office and she deals with numbers. What do you think
Yes.
she is?
She's an accountant.
Okay. All right. And number 10. Devram,
Yes, teacher.
what do you think this man's job is? What is he?
He is a lawyer.
Yeah, he is a lawyer. Good. And German, in number 11, what is this lady's job? Unmute your microphone, German, and answer, please. Okay, nothing from German. Jesus, what do you think this lady is?
She is a nurse.
Yes, very good. Okay, Aka Ken, this lady, what do you think she is?
She's serving the drink.
Yes.
Probably she's a waitress.
She is at the bar. She
At the
just
bar.
poured some beer from the tap here. So she's working at the bar. She gives the beer to the waitress to take to the customer. What do we call her?
Oh, I don't know. She's a bar staff.
Okay, very close. Somebody in the chat has it right.
Barmaid.
Yeah, a barmaid.
A barmaid. Okay.
Yes. However, again, as I have been telling Jesus, in North America, we don't like to make it clear whether it is a boy or a girl. So we would say bartender, so that it could be a guy or it could be a girl. So bartender is more common in North America. Okay, are there any questions about any of these jobs? All right, good. So we'll go on. Okay. So before we do number 2, I'm going to ask each of you, what is your job? So Aka Ken, what is your job? What do you do for a living?
Teaching. Studying at the graduate school.
Okay, so what do you say you are? You are a...
The graduate school student.
Okay, good. And Devrim, What do you do for a living? Devram? Unmute your microphone. We can't hear you.
Sorry, teacher.
That's okay.
Yes, I can't hear somebody ask a question.
Yeah, I asked if what you do for a living.
I'm a custom broker.
Okay, good. Interesting.
And I'm at office now.
Okay, well, that's all right. You're learning something. Very good. Jesus, what do you do for a living?
I understand, teacher. I don't understand.
What do you, well, in the exercise, we saw some people, she was a nurse, another person was a doctor. What are you? What do you do for a living?
I am engineer.
Right, okay. I am an engineer. Remember to use the an, okay? I am an
Okay.
engineer.
I am an engineer.
Good, okay. Hi, Felipe. Welcome to the class.
Hello, teacher.
You have an interesting friend.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that's Sylvester?
Yeah, Sylvester, yeah.
Very good. Where are you from, Felipe?
I'm from Spain.
From Spain. Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you do for a living?
I study at university.
Okay. So you'd say, I am a
Student.
student. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. All right. So we'll go on and complete a text about Alan. Let's start with Akaken. Read the lines until you get to number 2 and tell me what you think should go on the blank there, okay?
Okay. My name is Alan. I'm from England, but I live in Tokyo. I'm a journalist. I blank for an English language magazine. I
Okay,
work
so just
in
leave it
for.
there, yeah.
I work for.
Okay, I work for, yes. I work for an English magazine. Good. All right, and let's see, we'll have, trying to get it so I can see who's in the class here. Devrim, can you
Yes.
put what's on the blank here? I work for an English magazine and I use any of these words up here.
I go to work about life in Japan. No.
That doesn't work. He's a journalist.
Mm-hmm.
He works for a magazine.
And
He
I write about
Yeah.
life in Japan.
Right. Very good. Okay. Felipe, what's
Yeah.
number 4?
I get up early at 7 o'clock.
Very good. Okay. And Jesus, what do you think number 5 should be?
At 7 o'clock, finish.
What do you do after you get up in the morning?
Okay, go to have breakfast.
Yeah, have
And-
breakfast.
and
And,
go and go to work.
but we have the word home here and something home.
Leave.
I leave home
Leave
at
home.
7:45. Okay, good. Aka Ken?
Okay, I go to work by car.
Okay. Okay. And Devrim?
Yes.
Number 8.
I work and oh, sorry. I get to work
Yes.
an hour later.
Good. Very good. And Felipe, number 9?
Okay, my home is very far from my office. I finish work at 5 o'clock.
Mhm. Good. And Jesus, the last one?
And get home.
Good. Okay. So can I have, let's see, Devram, please read the whole paragraph for me.
Okay, but first of all, can I ask a question?
Absolutely. Yes.
I get to work an hour later. What's that mean?
Okay, so he goes to work by car. He gets into the car in the morning and he drives for an hour. And at the end of the hour, he is at work. So we say he gets to work an hour later.
It's 1 hour, 1 hour later.
Yes, it takes him 1 hour.
It takes. Okay.
Yeah.
I understand. Thanks.
Okay. Good. So go ahead and read.
My name is Alan. I'm from England, but I live in Tokyo. I'm a journalist. I work for an English language magazine and I write about life in Japan. I get up early at 7 o'clock, have breakfast, and leave home at 7:45. I go to work by car. I get to work an hour later. My home is very far from my office. I finish work at 5 o'clock and get home every day at 6 o'clock. I go to bed late at 11 o'clock.
Very good. Thank you. Now, can anybody tell me what is the tense that this paragraph is written in? What is
Present
the tense?
simple.
Yeah, it's present simple. And present simple actually isn't talking about what's happening right now. Aka Ken, what does it talk about? If it's not something that's happening right now.
Yes, kind of. It seems like a habit, describing habits.
Exactly. This is describing what you normally do. That's what the present simple is really good for. It doesn't actually describe what's happening now. Does anyone know what tense we use or how we talk about what's happening right now? What do we use? Anyone? Okay, so
Present continuous.
yeah. I would say I am teaching class right now. So it's something that's happening right now. I use the ing on the verb. Okay. So that's the difference. That's how you talk about what's going on right now. We're going to listen to an audio here. It is one man interviewing another man. Looks like Alan is interviewing him. So let's listen to that. And just give me a second. Here we go. If everyone's muted, super.
So, tell me about your typical day. What time do you get up?
I get up early, at 7 o'clock.
What time do you leave home?
After I take a shower and have breakfast, I leave home at 8 o'clock.
How do you go to work?
I go by train. My office is very far from my home.
What time do you get to work?
I get to work 90 minutes later, at 9:30.
Do you enjoy your work?
Yes, I do. I meet a lot of interesting people.
What time do you finish?
I finish work at 7 o'clock. It's a long day.
And what time do you get home?
I get home at 8:30.
What time do you go to bed?
I don't go to bed late. I go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Okay. So I'm going to play it one more time, and then we'll complete Paul's table, the times that he does things. Okay, here we go.
So, tell me about your typical day. What time do you get up?
I get up early, at 7 o'clock.
What time do you leave home?
After I take a shower and have breakfast, I leave home at 8 o'clock.
How do you go to work?
I go by train. My office is very far from my home.
What time do you get to work?
I get to work 90 minutes later, at 9:30.
Do you enjoy your work?
Yes, I do. I meet a lot of interesting people.
What time do you finish?
I finish work at 7 o'clock. It's a long day.
And what time do you get home?
I get home at 8:30.
What time do you go to bed?
I don't go to bed late. I go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Okay. Jesus, what time does Paul get up?
Paul get up at 7 o'clock.
Okay. Very good. Felipe, what time does Paul leave home? Oops, we lost him. Okay, Devram?
Yes.
What time does Paul get home? Or leave home, sorry, leave home.
He leaves home at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
8 a.m. Oh.
Yes, 8 o'clock is correct as well. But
Also.
if you are using the 12-hour clock, you have to say whether it is the morning or the afternoon. So 8 a.m. is easier to see that it's in the morning, the a.m. What do we say when it's afternoon?
P.m.
P.m., yeah, good. Okay. Ken, how does Paul get to work?
He goes to work by train.
Okay. Okay, and Jesus, what time does he get to work?
He gets to work at 9:30.
Yes, 9:30, or we could say 9:30 a.m. But 9:30 is the same. Two different ways of describing the same thing. Good. Ken, what time does he finish work?
He finishes work 7 p.m.
Yes. Very good. Devram?
Yes.
What time does he get home?
He gets home at 8:30.
Yes. So that's 8:30 p.m. 8:30. Good. And Jesus, what time does he go to bed?
He go to bed at 10 o'clock.
I'm sorry, it dropped out. I didn't hear you.
He go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Yes, at 10 p.m. Now, when we're talking in the third person, you need to put an S on the end of the verb. So it's not he go to bed at 10 p.m. He goes with an S. He goes to bed. He finishes work. He gets home. Remember to use the S when we're talking in the third person. All right. So this is where you will need to have the worksheet yourself because you need to look at table 1 and complete the sentences about Alan. We're going to be putting the correct verb on the line. So, Akaken, can you tell me what to write on the line for number 1?
Okay, Alan gets up at 7 o'clock.
Very good, thank you. Devram?
He
Number 2.
lives. He lives
Okay, read the whole line.
at home at 7:45.
Very good, yes.
Go.
And Jesus, number 3?
He goes to work by car.
Exactly, very good. Ken, number 4?
He starts to work at 8:47. I forgot the option.
Let's see.
He gets to work.
There we
at
go,
8,
yes.
Yeah, 8:45.
So notice the difference when people have trouble with goes and gets. Goes is when you leave, you're going somewhere, or talking about the mode of transportation. You go to work by car. You're leaving the house and heading toward work. That's going. When you arrive, then you use get, because that is when you arrive. You get to work. Okay, that's like arriving at work. All right, Devon, number 5.
He finishes work at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Finishes or finish?
Finishes.
Finishes.
Finishes. Yes, finishes work.
Okay.
Finishes. The stress is on the first syllable. So you say finishes. Try it.
Finishes.
Good. Yeah. All right. And number 6. Go ahead. Jesus?
He gets home at 6 o'clock.
Okay. Very good. All right. So now, Paul's routine. We're going to use the same kind of sentences for Paul. So I want you to tell me, let's see, we'll start with Devram. Number 1, talk about Paul.
I can't number 1.
Yeah, so instead of
Sorry.
looking at Alan, look at Paul's routine on the table, and then make a sentence like number 1.
Okay. Paul gets up, same. Paul gets up at 7 o'clock.
Okay, good. And Akaken?
Okay, Paul leaves home at 8 a.m.
Okay. And Jesus?
Paul goes to work by train.
Okay. Say that word again. Train.
Train. Okay.
Good. Train. Very
Very.
good. It's almost the same in Spanish. Akaken, number 4.
Okay. Paul gets to work at 9:30.
Okay, and Devram, number 5.
Paul finishes work at 8:30.
He has a very long day. I'm glad I don't have his job. Jesus, number 6.
Paul gets home at half past 8.
Oh, so what time did Paul finish work? At 7, not at 8:30.
Okay,
Oh,
at 10
7.
That's all
o'clock.
right. It's all right. You know, you were right. Jesus, you're all right. I wrote the wrong thing down here. Oh, I can't get rid of it either. Oh, well.
Sorry, I mixed it.
Yeah, that's okay. So it should have been 7 p.m. Okay, and this was 8:30. Good. All right, so let's listen one more time to the audio and we can fill in the blanks for the interview. Then we'll practice the interview. Okay, so here we go.
So, tell me about your typical day. What time do you get up?
I get up early, at 7 o'clock.
What time do you leave home?
After I take a shower and have breakfast, I leave home at 8 o'clock.
How do you go to work?
I go by train. My office is very far from my home.
What time do you get to work?
I get to work 90 minutes later, at 9:30.
Do you enjoy your work?
Yes, I do. I meet a lot of interesting people.
What time do you finish?
I finish work at 7 o'clock. It's a long day.
And what time do you get home?
I get home at 8:30.
What time do you go to bed?
I don't go to bed late. I go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Okay. So you'll notice that the question and the answer has a lot of the same words in it. We know that this sentence, what time, is going to be asking what time Paul gets up, because Paul answers, I get up early. So, what time do you get up? What is the question Alan asks for number 2? Jesus?
One moment. What time do you leave home?
Good. Very good. And Devram, what is the next question that Alan asks?
How do you go to work?
Good. How do you go to work? Very good. And Akaken, the next question.
Okay. What time do you get to work?
Good. Devram, number 5.
What?
Okay, this one is a little bit different because
Yes.
what is the answer? What does Paul say? Read Paul's line.
Are you enjoy your work?
Okay, not are you.
Do you enjoy your work?
Yes, do you enjoy your work? Very good. Jesus, number 6.
What time do you finish work?
Okay, good. And Akaken, number 7.
Okay. At time and what time do you uh, do you uh, do you get home?
Right, good. And Devram, the last one.
What time do you go to bed?
Very good. Are there any questions about these? Okay, so let's practice the dialogue. Akaken, I want you to be Alan. Devram, be Paul. Go ahead.
Okay. So tell me about your typical day. What time do you get up?
I get up early at 7 o'clock.
What time do you leave home?
After I take a shower and have breakfast, I leave home at 8 o'clock.
How do you go to work?
I go by train. My office is very far from my home.
What time do you get to work?
I get to work 90 minutes later at 9:30.
Do you enjoy your work?
Yes, I do. I meet a lot of interesting people.
What time do you finish work?
I finished work at 7 o'clock. It's a long day.
And what time do you get home?
I get home at 8:30.
What time do you go to bed?
I don't go to bed late. I go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right, Jesus, you and I will do the dialogue together. Let's see. I want you to be Paul. I'll be Alan. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, tell me about your typical day. What time do you get up?
I get up early at 7 o'clock.
What time do you leave home?
After I take a shower and have breakfast, I leave home at 8 o'clock.
How do you go to work?
I go by train. My office is very far from my home.
What time do you get to work?
I get to work 90 minutes later at 9:30.
Do you enjoy your work?
Yes, I do. I meet a lot of interesting people.
What time do you finish work?
I finish work at 7 o'clock. It's a long day.
Good. And what time do you get home?
I get home at 8:30.
What time do you go to bed?
I don't go to bed late. I go to bed at 10 o'clock.
Okay, good. I'll come back to this word here. Jesus, you had a little problem with this is shower.
Shower.
Mm-hmm. Good. And it's hard to know that because if you just went to here, that word is show. So you would think it's shower. But no, it's English. So this is shower.
Okay, no Spanish, English.
Oh dear. Funny. Okay. Very good. Are there any questions? All right. So we're going to interview each other now. We're going to ask and answer questions. The same. I'll go back to to this table. So I want you to ask questions that will give answers that are true about each of us. Okay, I'll start. And I'm going to make this a little smaller so I can see people in the class. There we go. Okay. Everybody can still see the screen, okay?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to start with Akaken. I'll ask you the questions, you answer, and then you'll be asking somebody else the questions. Akaken, what time do you get up in the morning?
I get up at 8 a.m.
Okay. What time do you leave home to go to school?
I leave home at 8:30.
Okay. How do you go to school?
I go to school by car.
Okay. What time do you get to school?
I get to school right before 9 o'clock.
Okay. And what time do you finish school?
I finish school. It's Atlanta, but 5 yeah, at 5 p.m.
Okay. And what time do you get home?
Uh, Usually I get home at 6 o'clock.
Okay. And what time do you go to bed?
I go to bed around midnight.
Okay, very good. So now you can ask Devram the same questions, and Devram will answer. Go ahead.
Okay. Devon, what time do you get up?
I get up at 8 a.m.
And what time do you leave home?
I leave home at 9, about 9.
How do you go to work?
I go to work by car.
What time do you get to work?
I get to work at 9:30.
What time do you finish work?
I finish work at 5 o'clock.
What time do you get home?
I get home at about 6 or 7.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at late, in the midnight.
Same as Akaken. He goes to bed at midnight too. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Nicely done. All right, so now it's your turn to ask Jesus questions. Go ahead, Devram.
Jesus, what time do you get up?
I get up at 6:30.
You wouldn't say 6:30. You would just say 6:30 or 6:30.
Okay, 6:30.
Okay, and the other thing I'll just mention here, Jesus, is you don't have to pronounce the L in that word. It is a silent L, so it's just half, half.
Half.
Yeah, so it sounds like that. If you look in Verbling, it sounds like half.
Okay, half.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
Uh,
8:30, was it? Or 7:30?
okay. What time do you leave home?
I leave home at 7 o'clock.
What time do you go to work?
I go to work by car.
Oh, sorry. How how do you go to work?
Yeah, how? That's a how question. By car.
By car.
I make a mistake.
That's
Yes.
okay. We all do that.
What time do you get to work?
I get to work at 8 o'clock.
Mm. What time do you finish your work?
I finish work at 6 o'clock.
What time do you get home?
I get home at 7 o'clock.
What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at half past 11.
Nicely said. Very good.
Okay.
11:30. Okay. Well done. I think we are at the end of the... Okay, so just taking a look at the present simple, you'll notice that the only thing that's really different is in the third person. So when we have I, you, we, you, they, we just say work. But he, she, it, we add the S. And it's the same for each of the verbs. Okay, so always remember to put the S on the third person. And with this word finish, because of the way it is, you have to add ES on the end, and it's finish es. So it's adding another syllable. Finish is 2 syllables. Finish. And when you add ES, it's finishes. Okay. Are there any questions about the affirmative forms for present simple? Okay. So we'll take a look at the question forms. Again, the only thing that's different is the third person. We use do to ask the questions. Do I work? Do you work? But we use does when we're asking about the third person. Does he, she, or it work? Okay, is that fairly clear? All right, so I'll come back into the classroom. I'll join you here. And I want to ask about other routines that you might have. So let's see, Jesus, what sports do you do?
I play football.
Okay, very good. So I want you to ask one of the other students about a routine in their life. It could be about sports or whether they shower 3 times a week.
Aka, do you like cinema? Oh,
Okay, so Jesus, we're asking questions about routines, not about likes or dislikes. So you would say, do you go to the cinema?
do you go to the cinema?
I rarely go to the cinema. A cinema.
Okay. Very nice. The use of rarely, a nice adverb. Very good. Okay, so Aka Ken, ask somebody in the class.
Do you do you go shopping?
Yes, I go to shopping every day.
Okay, so don't use to in that. I go shopping. You don't need the to. I go
Okay.
shopping every day.
every day.
Very good. Okay, so think of a question to ask and ask somebody in the class.
What? What do you go? How do you go? How often do you go to holiday in year? In a year.
Who are you asking?
You.
Me. Okay. Oh, how often do I go on holiday during a year? Usually 3 or 4 times a year we go on holiday.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, my turn. Let's see. Akaken, how often do you go swimming?
I go swimming 4 days in a week.
Oh, that's a lot of swimming. Interesting.
Short time.
Professional swimmer.
Do you swim for exercise?
Yes, I do.
Okay, interesting. Your turn then.
Okay. Sorry. How often do you play your favorite sports? I forgot. Soccer?
Football, yeah.
Football. Yeah.
I play every week.
Once a week? Twice a week? How
Two,
many?
one, uh, uh, one moment. One a week.
Okay, so you use the word once. Once. Once a week. Okay?
Okay.
Once a week. When you're talking about 1 time per week, you say once a week. If it's 2 times per week, you say twice a week. And we've run out of time, so I have to say goodbye to you for this lesson. I have the very next lesson after this. You're all welcome to come to that as well. I'd be happy to see you there. And if not, hopefully I'll see you in a lesson tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye.
Bye, teacher.